Hello, athletes and fans of bodybuilding. I'm Lenda Murray, 8 times Ms. Olympia, and you're watching Olympia TV. Thank you for joining us on this Friday. We have an exciting show, a lot to talk about, and joining me, my co-host, Wendy Fortino, IFBB Figure Pro,
What's up?
and Adela Garcia, 8 times Ms. Olympia Fitness.
Hi.
So excited today because our next guest, guys out there, there's so much to learn here, like so much.
Yes.
First of all, going and turning pro in the figure division, then transitioning into a new division, kicked off her heels, competed in women's physique, not just competed in women's physique. She's 2 times Miss Olympia Women's Physique in 2018 and 2019. And now she took a 4.5-year break, returned to the stage in a third division, in the wellness division, and she is now qualified for the 2025 Ms. Olympia in Las Vegas. Everybody, please help me welcome Shanique Grant.
Yes.
Outstanding.
I'm so happy.
I didn't realize that you competed in figure.
Yeah.
You turned pro in figure.
Yeah, it was a short-lived one. I was 19 when I got my pro card, and then I competed in the division for about a year. I did 3 shows, 5th for my pro debut, 2nd, and then 6th. And then they said, you're going to be better off in physique. So I did the big jump, and it was hard because I'm a very shy person. I am very shy. So it was definitely a big jump to go into physique, especially wellness too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just amazing. I think it's so much to learn because, we have now is it 7 divisions, right? For the women now.
Yeah, women's, yes.
And we're always trying to find our way.
Oh, yeah.
And no one better to have a conversation with, because judges, people always trying to tell you what you should do, who you are. And when you look at the 3 divisions, figure, women's physique, and now wellness, they're different. So let's talk about, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We have a $2 Damien J. Thank you. We got some money for Shanique's beauty, so thank you.
What? Girl, you're the first one that came on. We got some money.
I know. We never
that.
got any money.
Look at that. Jeez. Okay, Shanique, we gotta have you on more often.
I know.
Yes, I personally, I would like to, because we have a lot of ground to cover here. Okay.
Yes.
What's crazy is it's not that I wasn't following you, because you've been on my mind like sporadically, just because you're such a phenomenal asset to the whole industry, and being Miss Physique Olympia, it's like, you're always on people's mind. But when you came out and decided that you were going to do wellness, it was like, whoa, what the heck? I was so shocked. So I would love to hear your journey. Just go for it, from starting the sport, going into figure, transitioning to physique, and now wellness. Like, what has that process been like? Like, take us through that.
That's like a book's worth.
Yeah, I know, but
it's all right. We can write half of it at least tonight.
We got a little time.
So I started working out in 2013. I was a very skinny track runner. I ran track for 8 years prior to stepping into the bodybuilding industry. And I decided to just go for it. The coach I had saw potential, and number one thing in the industry is when someone sees potential in you, it's honestly the biggest motivation for you. So when I started, I didn't know what I was doing. Like, my first show, I did my own makeup, I did my own hair, I had like pearl earrings that I had for like years. I didn't know anything about it. I just knew I had to get on stage and I had to diet and train. So my first show ever, I won and I got overall, which is great in figure. And then within 4 months within 3 shows, I got my pro card at 19 years old in 2014.
Wow.
So that was huge for me. And I was super young, so I still didn't know anything about anything. I just knew I got my pro card and now what's next. So 2015 was, of course, my rookie year in figure. And it wasn't the best. I mean, I got 5th place for my pro debut and then 2nd. And then we kind of just went into physique after my last show in 2016. Then physique was honestly where I was like blossoming, because it showed me more presence on stage, to get more confidence on stage, especially with the routine. The routine part was the scariest part for me, because I knew I had to showcase something for literally at least a minute, and coming from someone who was in figure and, boom, bam, on and off the stage, and doing a whole routine, that was definitely a big shock for me. But I loved physique. It was so fun. I felt amazing up there. The crowd, fans loved it so much. But I had to take a break just for myself. I wasn't really feeling the best. I felt like a little burnt out, and that can happen if you don't make balance in the industry. And it's so important. So I had to take a break, and I wasn't sure if I would be back, but I missed the stage so much. I missed my fans. I missed all that stuff, but I really wanted to do it for myself. So wellness, when it came out in 2020, I was just like, I like that. I love how they look. And I'm like, it's definitely a look that I want to strive for. Big legs, we love having big legs and big glutes. So when I finally announced it in 2023, after, much needed time off, it was a big shock for me. And I almost pulled out like, oh, wait, never mind. But I'm like, oh, wait, I already said it. So we have to try.
Yeah.
We got to do it now. So, but I knew I wanted to do it. But of course, like, just the shyness kind of kicked in. Like, you're going to have to do something completely different on stage. Like, this is like girly pop, all that stuff. That's different than figure and physique. So you really have to tap into that feminine, that sex appeal, that sass, all that hair flip, all that stuff. And man, it was a lot of practice, And there's still more. Like, that's the thing about wellness, is I can grow in it. And that's what makes me excited, because I was compacted in figure. I was compacted in women's physique, and in wellness, there's just so much more legs that you can grow. And that's what makes me excited about it.
What is so crazy is that people don't understand that even if you won the physique, the Olympia, that doesn't mean that you can just go and switch divisions and right away jump into competing in the Olympia again. So you actually need to requalify. How did that feel to you got to go and requalify, starting all over again?
Yeah, I mean, I love the challenge. That's why, like, wellness is like just a really exciting division to do, because there's so many, heavy hitters in that division. And I love the challenge. I started from the bottom in figure and then also women's physique. And, I'm really motivated to really, really make a big statement on the Olympia stage and moving forward. And it's more exciting because, like, now I'm doing different shows. Like, I used to do the Arnold and the Olympia and New York Pro, but not like these different shows all over. So it's really exciting, and I'm loving this so much. But qualifying for it, my first show, of course, it didn't, like, of course we all want to win. That's always the goal. But I was really happy that I got 6th place, because
I remember you told me, and I believed you.
I was, because there were a lot of top athletes at that show. Where people, predicted that they would be higher, and they weren't. And, like, they're amazing. We all follow each other. We're all cool. But it was just like I really did that. Like, I placed higher than X certain people. I got 6th place out of 14 girls. Like, that's huge for me. After 4.5 years gone and coming from a different division, it was a big statement for me, and I felt great. So I was like, okay, now what do we do now moving forward? Of course, I asked for feedback, and they said, you need to pop it up there. You need to show that confidence. You got to sass, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I felt better, because I was just like, in my head, I'm like, this is my first show in a different division after years. So it's not going to be like the easiest when I first get back on stage. And I knew that going into my first show. I was shaking like a salt shaker. I'd say.
It's like a salt shaker.
I was so nervous. I was so nervous. I'm like, okay, let's try not to shake our legs. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna try to do the hair flip, but I couldn't.
Oh my God.
It's so funny because you said that you're enjoying competing at
Yeah.
those shows, like the smaller show, which
Yeah.
I always think that athletes need to enjoy those shows because everybody is always so focused on the Olympia and they forget that as promoters, we put in a division for you to be able to qualify. And like
Right.
those are the shows that you're going to enjoy the most
Yeah.
Yeah.
before you step. Because the Olympia is a different that's a different monster right
Way,
there. Where
way different. I had so much fun on stage, and I tell everybody that. Like, of course, people may think I was upset about my placing, but I had so much fun up there. Like, I felt so beautiful. I was like shining. I had my hair
Mhm.
done.
Yeah.
You know, I have a great hairstylist, makeup artist. He's great. He like I wanted a different look. I had like the middle part. You know, it was like everything
Mhm.
together. I was just like, I just look like a Barbie doll. I love this. And like when I got on stage, especially the second one, Cali Pro, like I felt so good. And also like the backstage environment is the make it or break it to your calmness when you get on stage.
Yeah.
yes,
I was rushing backstage the first show. The second show, like we were close to the venue. It was beautifully put together. We had like a little pro spot, and like I put my earphones in. I was listening to music. I was posing.
Yeah.
I just felt good. I just felt in my calm, and that's how it always was at the Olympia.
Yeah.
I would find my little spot, get a chair, kick up my feet, and turn some music on, and just kind of get in the zone, and just like whatever my favorite song is that gets me. You know, we all have that pump up, that like, oh, I'm that it girl kind of song that we listen to. And I was just like, okay, I feel good. I feel so good. I feel so calm. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just everyone. I like to make other people feel good, and that calms me down. So I had a really good process of warming up before I got on stage, and then the pump up. And we also had more food and wellness.
Really?
I had
Correct.
burgers the night before, and then pancakes the morning. Oh,
You're
oh
like,
my
what?
goodness.
Pancakes?
I was in there's one funny moment on stage. So when I went on stage for the second show, Cali Pro, for comparisons, the first for prejudging, I had my AirPod in my left ear.
What?
Yeah.
What was-
oh,
really? Wait a minute.
No.
Can we see it in these photos, maybe?
the phone is ringing. You answering the phone on stage. Hey, what's up? I gotta call you back. I'm on.
And no, because I was listening to music, and like they were like, "Oh, we're boom on stage," and I totally forgot it was in my ear. And I'm like, I can't believe they didn't see that.
Well,
Yeah,
your phone is kind of covering your ears, you know?
so I was a little thankful that they didn't show, but that was just something where I was just
Yeah.
yeah.
So much to unpack here.
I know.
mean, really to be Ms. Olympia 2 times, be known, you know, as Women's Physique Miss Olympia 2 times, just the pressure of coming and competing again in another division, because you kind of know like all eyes are on you.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's a different, and it's great to hear you say that your first wellness competition, you were so extremely pleased with 6th. Like you're just, first of all, you're 4.5 years older than you were, when you won the last in 2020 when you competed.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just so much to unpack here. And that's really great to hear. And I think a lot of people out there, especially the competitors, because they think like, oh, like I've arrived when I win the Olympia. Like,
Yes.
Right.
Well, I was like actually thinking about something, because I mean, we can all like kumbaya and like talk about, just all the fluffy stuff. But one thing that has always stood out to me about you is as soon as you started competing, you are so ridiculously gifted. This is something that Lenda can relate to. Okay. I think Lenda's probably the only person I know that can really truly relate to you on this, but you're so you're so genetically gifted, and everybody is like, I mean, you get a lot of weird energies when you are so beautiful and you're so gifted. And like, let's just be real. You get a lot of hate, you get a lot of jealousy, you have a lot of people that are, and so, and as you continue on in your journey, it's like, that is something that you have had to be faced with, and you maintain this this just, and we talked about this too, this amazing positive energy. And so just like for the women out there that like feel, I don't know, they struggle with those types of things, and you've been able to kind of power through it, like speak to that a little bit about your ability to kind of like break through like the haters and the jealousy and everything like that, and hang on to this gift that you've been given, and to pursue your, you know, your goals, and to be at the top the way that you are. I know that's kind of a loaded question, but that is, I mean, that's the reality with somebody gifted, you know what I mean?
It all comes with age, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
With age.
That's correct.
Industry when I was 19. I didn't know how
Yes.
to I was like, come at me, I'll talk to you, I'll do everything. But as time has gone on, as I got older, I see people who may talk negative or hate. I don't know, there's something going on within them.
Yes.
I don't take it personally anymore. People like to bring the old you back when that's not you, knocking on an empty door kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's just how it's always going to be. There's always going to be people that are like that. But it's a small percentage, you know. So I focus on positive, the love, because I'm like, oh well, there's so much love, and then there's like maybe one or two, and it's just like, does it really matter? No, it doesn't. But the younger you are and the less mature and less experience you have with that, you're gonna dive into that kind of energy. But again, you have to look at it from, don't take it personal. It's something going on with them. They're more so insecure about whatever's going on in their life. They might have had a bad day. They might have had a bad week, a bad month. Something might be going on in their life where they need to attack you and make you feel lower. So the best thing is to stand your ground. Of course, don't even respond to it. That's just
Yeah.
and there's just no need to feed into negativity anymore. I feel so much better when I don't. And I feel more free and more control of your emotions. Emotional maturity and emotional control is the new hot thing now.
Yes.
Especially in this industry, it's not about having tough skin, thick skin. It's just about, you know, knowing who you are, and just keeping your head high.
That's true. That's
Yep.
right.
So well said. When you first said that you turned pro, you were 18? At the age of 18? I mean, that right there alone, the person at 18 is very different from 22 and 25. And so that right there, that says it all. You know, when I first heard that you were thinking about going into wellness, I knew, like, because of your flair.
Yeah.
On stage, when I very first saw you competing in women's physique at the Olympia, and I believe it probably was the first one in 2018.
Yes.
And they had this silhouette of you because or it may have been 2019.
I think it was 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
And you came out and you did this thing, and you just could see your silhouette and the way you moved and flowed. You know, I was like, she's smooth. And I'm always looking at posing and presentation, because at the end of the day, all the athletes at the Olympia were all great shape. It's a little things like that. So when I heard that you were going into wellness, I was like, no question about it. She can do it. She's got that unique, tiny waistline. You have the glutes and the quads. Like, that's the hot thing now. You know, I mean, women out there, and I love this today, women out there, even though, you know, they're going out and they're buying that booty. They're trying to buy it. They're trying and sucking stuff out the middle. And you got that genetic gift. So I was like, she's got that. I'm just being real. So that's why I'm saying, ladies, like this is the body.
Yeah.
And most average, all the women out there, they want that enough to like inject themselves and do all these things.
Yes.
A lot more money.
Yeah. I would love to talk about what you're planning to do with your physique, because it's crazy to see you being able to transform it so much. But the biggest thing I remember, because I was commentating at the Legion, and I remember the biggest thing that I noticed about you, and this is like ironically a compliment, even though you know, it wasn't, it's both good and I guess bad for wellness, is that you're so perfectly proportioned, you're so perfectly put together. And I was telling the ladies this before we went live, and that is your biggest, for wellness, that's the biggest challenge for you right now, is that you're still so perfectly symmetrical. And that in a weird way is a downfall for wellness, because
Yes.
you have to create. So talk about that, like what your plans are for your next phase of physique transformation, because we know
So
you're in it.
we do have to get bigger. I am on the smaller side for wellness. I like being symmetrical, but I know that my lower body needs to get bigger, not my quads, but overall glutes. And that's actually exciting. I mean, why wouldn't you want bigger glutes? So we're just focusing on different training. Of course, more food. My last prep, I had 4,000 calories every day. So just more food, really. And the training is going to be a little bit more intensified. My boyfriend's a trainer, so he's going to be training me alongside with my coach. So I'm excited. It's just more exciting to like actually, like I said, like just grow more, and just there's no limit to it. I don't touch upper body, so it's just all legs.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
That must be nice.
I haven't trained upper body in 4 years at all. And it took that long to get smaller, but I still have an upper body, but it's still just much more smaller than it used to be, of course. And that was the goal. Maybe one day I can train upper body again, maybe. But if I
You are
can,
a specimen. This is crazy.
What are the
Tell us
challenges?
Go ahead.
What
Adela.
challenges have you faced getting into this division, especially going from Legion into the California show that you just won and qualified? Because it was such a short period of time.
I was when they on stage, the moment when it was finals and they were doing the call outs, they didn't call me out at all. And I'm like,
Okay.
like I'm sweating a little bit. What are you guys doing? You know? And then there was a girl that nudged me. She's like, "You got it." I'm like, "No, not until they're saying something." Because I was just like, I don't know. Let's see. You know. And then when they called me, I broke down crying backstage, because it felt like, and I was telling people coming into this the second show, I'm like, this feels like, and the first show, I'm like, this feels like my first Olympia. Because I had so much going on prior. Like I had 2 setbacks before my first Olympia.
Yeah.
And, like I felt like through this time, like my prep and like getting ready, like it was like a year and a half I was getting ready for these shows. We didn't have a show ready, but we knew 2025 was the year that I was going to step on stage. Last year we wanted to, but I didn't feel ready. Like I wanted to feel ready, and it took time to mentally, physically, emotionally, all that stuff, prepare for this, because it's a whole entire different kind of energy you're bringing to the stage, different from the last visions I did. It's just like recreating myself, like in general. And like even like the whole like that stuff, like I'm just like I gotta try to show them this kind of stuff. Like I gotta had some of the girls posing, and I'm just like, how can I make that like kind of my style?
Yeah.
And the posing was one of the hardest, if not the only hardest thing for me to learn, because my coach is very hard on me, and I need that. Like I would send him check-ins. He's like, nope, send more, because my posing was not right. My hips weren't right. I had to know how to twist my waist. Like people don't realize front pose, you have to twist your waist so much to the point where your glute pops. And I'm like, how? The entire time I'm like, how do I do that? And then like it was just a lot of mobility work too, massage work, and also a lot of vacuuming too, because your waist is showing.
Yes.
It's going, all your waist is, the more your glutes are going to pop, and the more everything else is going to pop. Your waist is like the biggest thing that's going to make everything else in wellness pop. The same thing with any division, but within this, it's just so different, because you have to really hold your waist in so hard for that front pose to really make it look exactly like what they want. So first show, I didn't do that. My posing was a little weak. My energy to the stage was a little weaker, but I felt even better and more sharper because we practice holding the poses. We practice my quarter turns, my turn, my T walk. And when I did my T walk the second show, I felt so felt so confident and ready. And I told myself, each show you're going to get better, because that's the goal. Each show you're supposed to get better, whether it's conditioning, posing, everything, confidence, presence, you're supposed to get better.
Yeah.
And just for the Olympia, now I have even more time, not just a week. I have 17 weeks.
Yes.
So
Yes.
like I'm excited just to be on stage with everyone. That's really it. Like I'm excited to be on stage alone and be qualified for the Olympia again after 4.5 years. Well, and I'll be 30 when I step on stage this year. And last time I was 25. So like just alone, I don't like of course we want to place well, but I'm just happy just to be there again. Like that's it. And that was the same thing for the last year. I'm just happy to be on stage again and be in bikini and be tanned and, you know, lay like a star with my tan the night before. Like, we love all of it. And I've missed it so.
Yeah, I had that experience. So I lost the Olympia to Kim Shazovsky, and I won 6 consecutive. And then I tried to come back. I lost. Then I lost again, placed second twice. And I took a long break. I thought I was really done. And I returned in 2002. And the woman that I see in 2002 versus the woman in the 90s is 2 different people.
Yeah.
Like you really do have an appreciation for the stage and competing. You're at peace, you're wiser, you're calmer, and it just makes such a huge difference. So I get that completely. I really do.
Yeah, it just feels good to like just be in a different a different mindset, maturity at the same time too, and just have more time to like kind of reflect and just see myself in a different light. I know a lot of people look up to me, and I'm just like, you have to be a role model. You have to set the example. And if you're going to get back into it, you really have to dive deep into more so like, I had an interview a few months ago, and they were like, I know you're more, you know, you're religious, you're spiritual, you're more in tune. And I am, because it keeps me at peace. I love yoga. Me and my boyfriend, we do yoga together. You know, I love some mindfulness and setting a day to myself just so I can collect myself for the week and just taking things slow. And if I get upset about things, just a few deep breaths. And like, there's so many different ways to be in your calm and not let the chaos of the outside world and the noise get to you.
Yeah.
Yes. I have a question. So I noticed that at the Legion, you were wearing higher heels, but then at the California Southern, I want to know, because I mean, I noticed everything. So I want to know if it was just because you felt more comfortable with the lower heels, or it was just, I mean, just tell me about it. As a judge, I'm always looking at everything. So.
Right. So I got a lot of questions about the heels.
Oh, see?
I know. I like those too. They were low.
Yeah, it was like an overflow of questions about the heels. I don't know why I didn't think like people wouldn't notice. I'm just like, I just threw them on. But so they were 5 inch, like the thick platinum on like
the platform.
Yeah. So those, wow, they are very, very high. It's been a while. I've had those. And I did pose well in them, but when I was on stage, that was hard. And there was carpet. The carpet was a little different than Cali Pro. So I was trying to transition. I just didn't feel very stable in them.
Right.
So like my legs look much longer. I'm a very tall person. I'm 5'7", but I have super long legs and super long arms.
Yeah.
So my coach was like, you need shorter heels. And there was a girl at the show that had maybe like 3.5 inch heels, I believe. So I went on Amazon and I typed in competition heels, and I saw like a 3.5 one, but it wasn't in my size. And then there was like a 2.5 one. I'm like, you know what? Let's just buy them. And they came in, and my makeup artist actually put the rhinestones on them the night before.
Oh, that's nice.
No way.
Because I didn't want them to be clear. I didn't want it to be too obvious, but it obviously was. But I was backstage. It was funny because I'm like, I got my little church heels on.
Wow.
I was about to say, I'm like, I've got my church shoes on.
Well, also because you came from women's physique, so it's a different thing. You don't wear heels, and then now you got to put these heels on and do all this a new division, do all these different things. It's just like.
So that was the funny part because like people were like, "Well, you haven't worn heels in years." I'm like, I wear heels going outside too.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
it was like more so for the look. My legs look much longer in the longer heels, and also I just didn't feel. I can move, but I just didn't feel as flowy because my legs are much longer than the other girls. So getting the shorter heels, I felt more stabilized and I felt like I could move better just because I was going against height for every girl that was 5'3", 5'4". So having the shorter heels definitely gave me more of a pop to my legs, my entire routine, and walking overall. For the Olympia, they're gonna be 3.5 inch, and they're gonna have straps because those are like flip flops.
Yeah. And this all brings up a really great point. Keep that shot right there, Wendy, because like for people that don't know and don't compete, like the whole purpose, if you look at the ladies across, it's like you're barefoot, right? And that's why it's clear. So really, you know what I mean? And because we're competitors. So even if you're wearing heels, the heels are like almost invisible, right?
Yeah.
But it's with women, we know that with heels, when I wear heels, I look smaller and I'm taller and all of that other stuff. But I also know, again, what you were saying with your quads and your size, like all these things really matter when you're looking at your physique and presenting your physique, and you try on those heels and you, okay, what do my legs look like in these heels? What do my legs look like?
Right.
And you know, and how much control do I feel?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the point that we've not really made. Because I remember in the beginning when they introduced the divisions where the women wore heels, and then you know some women like they didn't know yet like what heels, and then I noticed if a girl wore some heels that they had color, because I think a couple times you could wear something like that. It's just right. Then it cuts your body, it cuts you off or something. There's something to it.
Yeah, back in the day we used to match the suit with the shoes, the earrings, everything was matching.
Right. And now we don't do that.
We don't do that. No. And with the high heels, it's very important because I know for a fact that Cindy will always say every time, whenever we do a workshop, that those the big platform, the like 7-inch heels, it just doesn't make the girls look good. Their legs doesn't look good. Plus, it's very uncomfortable for people to walk on those heels as well. So it's just you gotta so many details. Especially for, I mean, all the division is so many details from head to toes, what you wear in your suit, your heel, everything that you put on.
For the women, it's just so much that goes more into it. For the men, I mean, they just need to show up and want to, but head to toe everything.
Yes.
So I want to know, as far as your glute training, because I think I saw one of your posts, maybe it was like 2 years ago or something, and you talked about, guys, it's like so different, like the stuff that I have to do to focus on glutes, and you know, tell us about the training for your glutes and what you're doing differently for wellness versus women's physique.
It's such hard training. Like it's very specific because you have to, it's like different angles. You have to like really hit your glutes, like upper glute, like every single part of your leg matters for wellness. Even I've never trained so much for abductors before. Oh my God. Like, and it's heavier. You have to go heavier, like more volume, more heavy. Like that's what I know we're going to be doing too. I was even like weeks, like up to like 2 weeks out, I was going heavy because we needed to keep that volume, that fullness. And that's the thing about wellness versus figure or physique. When I did, you have to get as lean as possible everywhere for figure and physique. For wellness, you have to get lean, but your booty still needs to be popping. So this is going to be like really hard for me, but even my gym where I go to, they have all these like new equipment from Glute Builder, and it's very like even the hip thrust is like it just emphasizes more on your glutes more too. But it's honestly the biggest thing was time under tension for the training, and just really, really, really isolating the glutes, because sometimes when I was training for anything else like before when I did physique, my hamstrings would overpower and activate versus my glutes. So really isolating, really getting like an actual pump, a warm up was the make it or break it to how good my training would be for glutes, for glute focused days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see from that last training video that the angle of that kickback was different. You weren't
Oh,
just like, you know what I mean? You were like kind of going back over to the side, or over
yeah,
to the side, over to
yeah,
the side, not like straight back.
right. It's like just the angle where it hits. Like for me, like I know I need to work on more upper glute. I have lower, but like upper glute is where we need to have that pop, because when you do the side pose, your upper glute is more so flaring more. So just working on that the next 17 weeks, I should make some kind of improvement. So that's the focus. And I'm excited. I'm gonna look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm so
Definitely.
excited.
Yeah, that's oh wow. And it's so
Yeah.
cool because like wellness, we were talking about the different you got 4 poses, right? So you got to hit that side pose. And those side poses are so important because that's where
That was hard. Well, the front, honestly, everything besides the back pose was hard.
yes.
Yeah.
The side pose was really hard to just to get like it's like all about the waist control and the hip control. I had tore my hip labrum on my left side back in 2020.
Ooh.
So dealing with that, it's gotten better, but obviously there's some aches here and there ever so often. But like really working through that through my prep this year was hard. But of course, like, you know, massage therapy and all that stuff you need to get done so you're not like aching and hurting. But it helped a lot. And then I was able to hit my side pose even more. I had a favorite side pose, which is my left side. And my coach would always tell me, you have to show both. I'm like, but
Yeah.
why? I'm hitting one. Is it that's for your presentation? Your comparisons are totally different. I'm like, oh, you're right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I had to start working on my right side pose. And believe it or not, my right side pose is my stronger side versus my left. And that was surprising to me because I always looked at my check-ins. I'm like, how am I gonna look like them on stage? And like I believe me, there's so much doubt that went through my went through my mind and prep. And that happens, especially going into a new division after a while. But like I just kept on going. I just kept on going, kept on going. And I'm like, I look like wellness. I look like a little wellness competitor. And I was so happy. The little changes that that was really, yeah, I was just like, just so happy for a change, you know?
Yeah. I want to know something. Okay, you've done 3 divisions. Are you staying in wellness? Like, is this your home now for good?
Yep. 100%. 100%. A lot of people were, you know, of course I have fans from Figure Days and Physique Days, and they're like, well, we miss you. I'm like, well, you know, this time I'm doing it for me because I know people want me. And that was another reason with the retirement, like everyone wanted me to push harder and harder and harder.
Yeah.
And like, well, I just want to do something different. So going back to the drawing boards, doing me for a while, and then like really getting back for myself and what I want was the best thing for me because I'm so much happier, so much more free, and I just feel like I can give more advice to people, like do this for you, you know, do it because it makes you happy. Because people see me on stage now and they're like, you look so happy. And yes, I look so happy on stage. I loved physique. Oh my God. That one
Beautiful.
was that was my wellness, my first Olympia show. And I remember my music was Jamaican based, and I'm from Jamaica. I moved to. People are like, "Oh, America." I'm like, I was born in Jamaica. I came here when I was 4, but it meant so much to me. And doing the routine, and like even when I did the routine, it was like my own personality, and that's what I see in wellness too. You can add your own pop, your own personality, your own sass you know,
Yes.
you could be dramatic and also, sexy and all this stuff on stage, and you can create your own aura on stage. And that's kind of what I loved that I had in physique and now wellness, but in a more flirty, girly way too.
Yes. I get it completely. Um, when I look at women's physique, and I know that year when you placed second, like the when you see someone and they have a physique that's perfect for a division. Like to me, when I look, like when I first witnessed your body, like your tiny waist and just the lines, and then when it came up with wellness, like it's no question that this is perfection for you. I don't think people realize, like when I look at the women's physique division, the amount of like leanness that's required or what's taken place, like when I look at like Sarah Villegas, her definition in her glutes, and pretty much all the women in the women's physique division, like that doesn't just happen. Like for me, in my first 6 Olympias, my body would not do that. It wasn't going to do that, right? It just wasn't. So when I took the like 5 years off, not knowing that I was going to come back, now I'm older, more mature. My body, because every time you diet down, you don't just like diet 5 times and get that type of you have to keep go through a whole series like of diet prep to keep doing that to try to get that. And your glutes don't say that you're going to get that kind of ripped look that we see in Sarah Vegas and see in some of the other women's physique competitors. You just about have to kill yourself. Do everything you need to do, but it's just not your structure. So that's what I saw. And I completely got it. Because you basically say, hey, listen, I want to have fun. I worked really hard for the physique that I have when I placed second. And if I have to do more, I'm not going to do more. When I say more, I'm not even saying like people want to take, what do you mean by more? No, I'm saying that your structure, your body, the fullness of your glutes don't say that you're going to, now when you get my age, not my age now, but like, let's say if you kept dieting for 5 years, and kept going through that process, that full process, going to Olympia, then eventually it's possible. Yeah. But it's just, do you want to do that? Are you happy doing that?
Yeah, that was the biggest thing, because I saw what was rewarded, and was I happy? No, I was very upset that year. And it was more because we were trying to keep physique in a certain part where it wasn't blurred lines to bodybuilding. And even bodybuilding isn't even that shredded.
Correct.
When I saw that, I was just like, but we were supposed to have lightly brushed striated glutes. And that's what the look was. And it threw me off completely, because I was just like, what direction are we going in right now? And as much as people wanted me to, go back and, get the win next year, I was just like, the way I felt the last several preps was hard. Every single prep was hard. But if I have to diet down that much harder, I'm afraid for myself and my health and my mental part to it. Because when we're dieted down, right here, just gone. So I just feel for myself and just my sanity and just like how I was gonna feel. I'm like, I can't push my body that far. I pushed my body so far already. So if that's what they want, then I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, I've had people ask questions because when I competed in the beginning, it was only women's bodybuilding. And so people will say, so if you could do it again, and if they had women's physique, would you be a women's physique competitor? Would you be figure? Would you be well? And I said, no, honey. Like for me, my structure, my bones, I'm women's bodybuilding. Yeah. I love women's physique. I love figure, but the reality is my structure, my bones, the amount of size, I would have had to about kill myself to stay in the women, to be a women's physique.
Yeah.
Because the physique that I had, if you go and look back at pictures, I was smaller, but I was nowhere near as ripped as what I see in women's physique.
And that was a big thing, because people would always say, are you going to get, 8-10 titles, like Lenda and Iris? And I'm like, I love Lenda so much. Oh my God.
Right.
But it's different now. It's different now. We're going where we need people to reassess and tell us again what we should not be doing. Like they had to reassess wellness just last year, I think it was, and say, you got to slow down. You guys are getting too big. And then there was blurred lines with women's physique and women's bodybuilding because people keep on going that much further. And I just hope that women's physique gets back to it.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of comparisons between,
just like right now.
I think we lost. Oh no, she's just taking a drink. Okay.
I think my end was getting a little glitchy. Sorry, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. I was just saying that there have been a lot of comparisons with Lenda Murray and Shanique Grant. And so it's kind of fun to go back and see Lenda here in 2002. Which number win was this?
This, I think, when I retired 5 years and came back, and I won. And if you guys look at my glutes and my physique there, see that was over like 15 years. My rear end did not look like that, and I diet really hard. All of my wins, my first 6 wins, but it just took time to go through that process. And now there was just women's bodybuilding. So for me, that's, but again, that takes years. It did not happen. And that would, so I don't think people really understand that.
Yeah.
They think, they always think, oh, I can just take your diet and diet down. I'm like, no, honey, you got to do that at least 10 good times.
Yeah.
And everybody's different. Everybody's diets should always be different. Their protocol, their way of training, it's all different. Like you can't take a diet from a top Olympian and think it's going to make you an Olympian too. It's different. Everyone's customized differently.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a little bit about your body work, as I see that you were doing something on your abs, like they just put in those activation. I never used one of those muscle stimulants. I see people using them, but I saw you doing that. You posted that during your peak week.
Oh, we got a little glitch.
So what are you talking about there? Is there some type of device?
Yeah, she was doing the newbie. It's called the newbie.
Did we freeze?
Let me find. I think I
did.
did.
We freeze. But you were using the newbie machine that put the sticker and they stimulate the muscle. Can you tell us about that? I never.
Yes. So the newbie, I've never used it like for training. It was more so to promote relaxation and give me better sleep. Since peak week, we are so high strung in a sense, not stressed out, but like it's hard to sleep. So that really helped me get a good night's sleep. And so we put it on my neck and also my feet. But there's also like another thing that I did for my stomach in another video. It was like flushing from my midsection, just any blow, anything that's like, clogged, whatever. It helped a lot just with my digestion, just feeling much flatter midsection. So those two were huge for me. And then the preparation for both of my peak weeks, the stress levels decreased significantly with that. I would recommend people to try that out because there's so many different ways to prepare yourself for stepping on stage and being your calm and tightest self. And I don't think that people really realize like the small little things that you can do that can make your physique that much better and then make you feel internally that much better too. So those definitely a staple for me.
Yeah. It's little things that cortisol and getting sleep and rest, it's so super important.
So many different things. The one thing I want to know is about that color of suit that you picked, that blue. That suit is
I
beautiful.
love I love the blue. So that was another thing about being on stage is like you have to find the right colors for you,
Yeah.
fit you. And from my very first figure debut in 2015, I was told never wear red again. Don't ever step on stage with red. So
Really?
red, yeah, red,
Didn't like being red?
yeah, I love red, but it just doesn't work for my skin under the lights. So
Yes.
with darker, because even on stage for Women's Physique, I had blue and purple for my suit my first year in 2018, and then I
Mhm.
did like a little black and gold one for the 2019 one, and then I had like a blue and green one for my last one. So we decided to one of those colors have to work, and you only have like one solid and kind of like maybe ombre for these bikinis. You can't have them customized
Yeah.
like bodybuilding or physique. So I have a blue bikini, and I was just like, I like this color a lot. This might look good. So me and my suit maker, Maria, she's great, Goddess Glam Suits. Um, we decided to do like the swatches and see what works best, and we thought that darker royal blue would work really good on my skin. So when she sent me the suit, I'm like, I'm in love. Let's make this suit. So not doing royal blue for Olympia, but we're doing a different color, and I'm excited to show you guys.
Oh,
It's gonna be
nice.
cool. It's gonna be pretty.
Exciting.
I'm so excited. And
Little details.
it's always gonna be a hint in
Ooh,
my
Yeah. That's
gorgeous.
beautiful. I love the hair,
Mhm.
makeup, everything just flow.
I just wanted like a different kind of. I wanted like an introduction. Like this is the new Shanique. Welcome to the
Yes.
stage.
Ooh, yes.
We like that.
Yeah, the hair was definitely the biggest part. Like I just wanted something a little different because I had like bangs on the side for women's physique, but I just wanted like more of an open faced look and just more pop and volume to my hair since I would have to like play around with it and move it and all that stuff. So like yeah, that was really one of the most exciting parts too, like getting ready to get on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
definitely love the hair. I love
Yes.
the whole package is just so well put together. Really, really beautiful. Love that.
Thank
Yes.
you.
this is a stunning picture of you. That's just,
That
I
was
mean, beautiful.
I love that photo. That was so Ty is my makeup artist and Gange Media took that photo. He's my videographer. They were all there. It was just a great team, and that's the biggest thing when it comes down to the stage. You guys know having your team with you. That's like that's the base of all of it all. You're making or breaking how you are on stage, how you feel, like everything. So I was really thankful I had all my people.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, I was pretty one of your posts where you just have like I have all my team together, and I sometimes people don't understand that. Even Linda and I, like we talk about, and Wendy does her show too as well. But we had to get ready, and it's so many different moving parts that goes into that final piece of art that we create. Whether we promoting, whether it's a show that you're running, it's just like so many different moving parts, especially for the stage. We
Mhm.
just need that. Well,
Oh, we missed. She's like, now I'm going to show you the blackout version. There
yeah,
we
share it
go.
Awesome. Wow.
We
So
like
what
this.
we have?
I'm here.
So now we have 17 weeks. You said
Yeah.
17 before the Olympia.
17 weeks from
Wow.
the yeah.
Wow, exciting.
Yeah, even with the Olympia being back in Vegas too, I've lived here for almost 7 years now. It's just the best place to have. Yeah, there's so much out here. The nightlife is great. I don't partake in it at
Yes.
all. I'm
Yeah.
retired.
Yeah.
But like even like the resort, like Resorts World, that's where it is. It's one of the newest casinos, and it's a great, great atmosphere. And there's just a lot of
Mhm.
stuff that Orlando, there was barely anything out there. So it's nice to have.
Yeah, yeah. Vegas is it's where all the
Vegas-
big sporting events, and it's
Oh,
just it says a lot,
Yeah.
for us. So that's yeah.
and everyone
Yes.
too. So it's awesome. Just awesome.
Yeah. So we're getting close on the hour, and I'm going to give you the last word. You can talk about your sponsors or your coach or just
Makeup and everything.
yes, or you know,
I just
or
want to
something
say,
to those people out there. You know, you
well, I love my fans. I love my followers. I'm thankful for you all. It's a blessing to be back in the industry and be welcomed so warmly, and just everyone's excited to see me in a new division. It's a blessing, and I just feel thankful I could still do this. As we get older, it gets harder. I'm not, of course, you guys are like, well, you're 29. What are you talking about? But it can be challenging, but I love this, and it took me some time to get back and get my motivation back. But like just being back, I just feel so amazing, confident and ready for this new era. And this is my rookie year, and so far so good. So I just can't wait to see how I look on the Olympia stage. And you guys are amazing. Lenda, you are the best. I am such a fangirl. Love you.
That's so sweet. I'm such a fangirl of you.
Yeah, like even we took a photo of 2019. I still have the photo backstage when I won, and I was just like, she doesn't understand how much this means to me, because for years people always said like, oh, they compared us to, and I'm like, she's queen over here. But thank you. That's a blessing. And Wendy, you are amazing. You are incredible. Adele, you are beautiful. I just met you, but you are so
I know.
Thank
you.
Will you be on stage this year at the Olympia?
Oh no, well, I will be at the Olympia. I retired in 2013, honey. You were probably starting all over.
Yeah, she decided to win 8 tennis Olympia titles, and then she decided to retire.
Yes.
Still killing it though. You all are, and it's just
Thank
I love
you.
being in the energy of strong, powerful, beautiful women. In this sport, we need that. And
yes, definitely.
And I've been wanting to be on here for such a long time, but
yeah.
I knew I had a little bit back in the industry for that. But it's just a blessing. Like, thank you guys so much. It means so much.
Yeah. Well, thank you for representing for us, and we're all powerful here, and this is why we fight really hard for this channel, and we show up every Friday.
Yes.
And we want people to subscribe, hit and subscribe and follow us.
Subscribe, because I might be back on too.
Yes.
Okay, and then thank you to all of the fans out there for joining in and watching. And girl, Shanique, you guys, we had so many comments in here. People throwing money.
I know. It's just like, I think you got like $300, girl. Like, yay, that's good. We need to bring you again. They got to keep throwing money to us.
Yes.
All right.
We love you, Shanique. We cannot wait to see what you have in store for all of us. We're going to follow your journey. We're going to have you back, and go for it, girl.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.